Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brandon back here with another video for you guys today. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. It means so much to me that you guys are watching. And today we're going to be talking about a pretty popular topic, especially with new investors to the game. They're wondering if they should be investing into the stock market now, where it's at, if it's a good idea or if it's a bad idea. So in this video, I'm going to be getting into the pros and cons of that. But before I get into the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Post videos Monday through Friday with an occasional Sunday video if I have time for it. So if you're interested in that, make sure to hit the button to subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me and it goes such a long way for my channel. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. So as I said in my intro, I'm going to be going over the pros and cons to start investing long-term today. So the first thing, I always like to get the bad news out of the way, so I'm going to start with the cons first. So now the biggest con that a lot of people have about starting to invest now is that we're currently at all-time highs in the market. We've just been running up like crazy. People are a little bit nervous about putting their money in now. They just say it's too high for me to start. But just to put it into perspective, we're at all-time highs, it seems like almost every year. I mean, we do have down years, but it seems like every positive year we're hitting more all-time highs. So. And then another huge con people are talking about is that everyone is saying that there's going to be this big crash this year. Everybody's really worried about it. And you don't really want to put your money, especially at all-time highs, like I said, with a potential crash coming and you'll lose 30-40% of your money that you put in. Nobody wants that. Puts you on edge. You don't know if you can really handle that. And so that's the second con that I have. And now the third con I have, it really wraps in with number two, but that there's just too much uncertainty now in the market. And that's very true, because just reiterating everything I've already said, the first couple points, we're at crazy all-time highs for not much of a reason other than stimuluses came in and we just keep running up continually. And that there's always been concern that we're going to crash soon, March is going to happen again, different things along those different lines. And so it makes it very, very uncertain and really up in the air about what's going to be happening with the market in the future. So that's really a cause for concern about maybe wanting to put your money into the market. And now this is a kind of a con that goes with it. It's related to it, but not entirely. But a con is you're just going to wait for the market to go down before you invest. And this is just waiting. You feel as though the market's severely overvalued, and you're going to wait for a crash to happen so that way you can hop in at the perfect time, middle of March. You're the person that was just going to be scraping up all the perfect buys at the different times, and you're that person that is just waiting for the crash because you know it's destined to happen and you want it to happen, and so that's what you're waiting for. So those are mainly the cons going into starting a long-term portfolio now. So let's get into the pros of it. Now, the first one to remember, it's very important. It's the longer that you're invested, the safer your investment is. So if you start today, instead of, say, 6 months from now, your investment would be way safer now than it would be at that further point in time. And the reason for that is, especially if you're invested in a good company or an index fund, unless there's a huge correction, more than likely it's on a steady incline forward. And especially if you look at prices a year ago today, we are definitely higher. I believe, just for a simple example, SPY was trading around like 320-ish around this time last year, and now it's at like 370. It's insane. So that means if you invested at the beginning of the year last year, you would have already made, I can't remember if it's like 16-17% from the last year. So just because you were wanting to wait, you would have missed out on that 16 to 17%. And not only that, that investment that you would have made last year is way safer than it would be today. And now the second huge point about investing today instead of at a later point is that you don't have potential to miss further market running up. And the reason I say this is that even if you do think we're overvalued or we're going too high, we're destined for a dip or a pullback, if you invested today, we still might have a couple more months of running up because the market can stay way more sane than you can think, because nobody knows exactly where the market's going when. So that means if it's looking like it's doing well, put your money in it and let it ride and just keep it going and make that investment safer by the longer amount of time you've held it. And then if you didn't invest today and the market, say, runs up another 10% the next month or two, you're going to be really upset that you missed out your opportunity on getting that percentage. And then that's maybe going to make you want to hold off even more because you're like, oh, it's not going to run up more. But the market is a crazy place, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense on the things that run. So keep that one in mind too. And now the third point is a really important point to keep in mind and really have this mindset of. But it's just having a long-term mindset, and whatever you buy in now, I can almost guarantee you in 10 years from now, that stock price is not going to be that point. And especially if you're investing in a very high growth company or a solid dividend stock, either one with the dividend stock and have way more shares of it just due to compounding interest with the dividends, or two with the high growth company, that stock price is definitely not going to be the same in 10 years. So as long as you're investing with a long-term mindset and the confidence you have in it, you are going to do well. Just who cares about a pullback that could happen, a crash, whatever happens, it doesn't matter as long as you have the long-term mindset and just buy when it dips and dollar cost average and really help your portfolio out. And that is the best way to really view a long-term portfolio. Who cares what happens in the near term? I'm looking at the long term. Who cares about the rest? And then the last point of a pro that I really want to go over today is that there's no certainty that the market's going to crash. I know I put a video or two out about it, about how I think the market's going to have a pullback. I don't think it's going to happen like March again, but I think there's going to be a little bit of a pullback. But I state in every one of those videos, I have not a clue. It could very easily continue to run up at the pace it is. So that's why nobody knows what is happening in the market. Just invest long term. Stocks usually go up and you'll probably be okay. Historically, the indexes return like 8-9% a year, and you would just be fine doing that. So you just have to remember, whoever says I am 100% positive that this market is going to crash in February 27th, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to either sell you something or they're really trying to make themselves feel better. Nobody knows the market, what's going to happen in the future. You just got to really roll with what's going on in front of you and just have a long-term mindset if you're a long-term investor. And just keep that in mind. But now I'm just going to tell you guys my personal opinion on if you should start investing today or if you should hold off maybe for a correction or a different time. And now my personal opinion that you should not listen to, I definitely think there's no better day to invest than today. And the reason I say that is just I feel the pros heavily outweigh the cons. Who cares where the market's at? As long as you're putting your money in there, you're being smart with your money. As long as you're not putting it all on some crazy speculative stock. But that's a different video for a different time. Because as long as you're starting to build up your portfolio, that's what's the most important to do. Because that's what's going to get you through hard times and through crashes and different things. You're going to be very happy that you have that to rely on during hard times. And so you should definitely start your long-term portfolio today. And for whatever reason, if you guys want to start a Robinhood account, I will leave a link down below. If you use my link, it'll give you a free stock. It'll give me a free stock too, so I wouldn't mind it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video today with all the content in it. And if you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out a lot. Again, I post videos Monday through Friday with an occasional Sunday video. So if you like finance content, stock market content, all of the above, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment down below what you think about this topic. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.